Hello again, viewers. It's time for your puzzle of the day with me, Grandmaster Simon Williams. Now, we're going to take two legends of the game yet again. With the white pieces, we have Lev Aronian, one of the most likable characters in the chess world, and he's been one of the strongest chess players for a long period of time. You might have heard of his opponent, Magnus Carlsen. That's right, with the black pieces. This was played in 2007, and there's a bit of a backstory to this game. This was really when Magnus was rising up in the chess world. This game was played in a candidates match. It was really a knockout match on the way to trying to become world champion. Lev was one of the strongest players around at that moment in time. This was a 6-game match, and this was a very important game to decide the winner of that candidates match. Now, we joined the game on move 42, and white is doing quite well with this lovely mass of pawns. But it's one thing posing and having a nice position. It's another thing actually having substance behind that pose. Ask King Carlsen that question. Oh no, I'm going to get in trouble with that one. But you know where I'm coming from. You've got to convert good looking positions into tangible results. So what move here did Aronian now play to create a good breakthrough? And again, try to calculate it at least a couple of moves deep. Get in the habit of doing this and you'll become a better chess player. I'll bring you the solution later on in the show. And for now, enjoy the rest of the studio. Well, the solution here is the move e6. This breaks through the defenses. Now, this pawn is too strong. It has to be captured. And this allows bishop takes g6. And now Magnus's position simply collapses. There's not really much he can do. In the end, he took on d5, giving up his rook. Had he moved the rook, then look how strong these pawns have become. That good-looking advantage has turned into something completely tangible. But after Magnus's move, pawn takes d5, Aronian now simply wins the rook and brings his rook into this powerful square, and he can start hoovering or mopping up. Which one do you want to do? Those pawns. So a very nice, important point in history in 2007, and a very important win for Lev, who's never made it to world champion. I still think he can do it, and he's such a likable chap. I wish him the best of luck on his journey there. The tactic in this game is one of my favorite tactics, actually, and it occurred in the match between Tigran Petrosian and Boris Spassky, the world championship match in 1966, helping Petrosian become world champion at that time, which Spassky then took back off Petrosian. But we get to this position here, and black has just played rook takes f7. And I think Spassky might have been relying on something like knight takes f7. And here, black has a number of options, including king takes, queen coming down here, with good counterplay, because white's king is so exposed. The game goes on. But Petrosian has seen a much stronger idea and a theme which really is very beautiful. Can you see the winning move that Petrosian now played? The winning move is to give the queen up temporarily, but then to devastate with this knight. Queen h8, beautiful. This has to be taken, and now both the knight and queen drop. We take that one with check, and after this one, we're a safe pawn up. Black has no counterplay, and this is the most efficient way of ending the game. Now, this following game was really where the world stood up and paid attention to Bobby Fischer. It was played in New York, where Bobby lived, and in 1956, Bobby was very young at the time, I believe 14, 15, and maybe even younger. And it's Donald Byrne, a strong player, one of the strongest players in America, against Bobby Fischer with the black pieces. It's been coined game of the century, this one, for really the next move that black now plays. Now, a little bit more complex, this one, but really after this game, the world thought, yeah, this guy's an amazing talent. He really can be something special and take on the might of the Soviet Union. Bobby's queen is attacked here, and I think this game also shocked Donald Byrne, and he was, him and his brother, very strong players, and he assumed that queen was going to defend, but the amazing move that Bobby now played was bishop e6, a phenomenal move. And it's always best to try not to retreat if you've got a good option, because you don't want to be forced back. You want to take the game to your opponent. And this move is just simply fantastic. Now, white did take the queen. What happens if he takes the bishop? Well, now the queen can come to b5 with check. And this is going to lead to a beautiful checkmate. For example, king here, queen e2, checkmate. And if the king goes to g1, we have smothered mate by bringing our knight into g3, our queen into f1, and our knight into e2. And this is actually very similar to a previous game of Morphy's in the Max Lang attack. If you already know your chess history, you might be aware of that game, and the finish was the same. Taking the queen is very natural, but now after bishop takes c4, this knight causes havoc. The knight goes into e2 check, and it takes as many things as it can on its way using the windmill. Knight c3 check. And now, when it's done its best, just a takes b6 with threats against the queen and the rook. The queen moves, and now rook a4, keeping the pressure up. No point dropping the bishop. And after knight takes d1, Bobby had a big material advantage, better pieces, and he went on to win this game of the century game in 1956.